Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. We have a fantastic show today. We have Lauria back, and I feel honored to have you sitting here, and thank you for coming back and gracing us with your talents, Lauria.
Thank you for inviting us, Ron.
And we have the infamous Michael Kott, who won't say anything, but he's sitting right next to me, the infamous cello player of Santa Fe, and he's going to be accompanying Lauria. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Lauria, for one thing, you need to get out more, and you need to get to the oldest church on February 2nd. But other than that, let me just read a little bit. Lauria delivers a musical experience bordering on ritual and ceremony. Nominated for Artist of the Year by the National Academy of Songwriters, Critics' Choice at NXNE and Folk Crawl, winner of Best Song 2017, the New Mexico Music Awards, Jazz Award 2018, Silver Medal Global Music Awards, and on and on and on. There is no separation from her music and her soul. You feel it when she plays, and we're very honored. What are you going to grace us with, Lauria?
Oh, okay. We're going to do a song off the CD there. It's called Moon in the Morning. And it's about being seen, and once you feel seen, you feel like you exist, or something exists, and if you don't see it anymore, then it just doesn't exist.
Okay,
right?
That makes sense.
It disappears. It's like, even if it's sitting there, if you don't see it. So, don't ever take your eyes off of me. I am becoming so very hard to see. In your eyes is where I long to be. So don't take your eyes off of me. Any minute I might disappear unless I know you can see me right here. Don't fall asleep, alright. I may fall free of you, and you take your eyes too.
Wow, that's powerful.
Thank you.
Last time you were on, you didn't have Michael playing cello there, and that really, it takes it over the top.
Well, thank you. Michael is,
And you guys are going to be playing at the oldest church. Let's get this out just in case people aren't going to tune in for the whole show. It's going to be a show that you're doing. Can you talk a little bit about that real quick?
Yes, for the first Saturdays of, we did January, we'll be doing February, March, and April. The first Saturday of the month, we'll be doing an elemental series. We're working our way arbitrarily, but it ends up being not arbitrarily, through the periodic table of elements.
Okay.
And so we've done rubidium, hydrogen, platinum, gold, and neon. And the February 2nd will be strontium. And then March 2nd will be molybdenum. And April 5th, the 5th,
yes,
will be cobalt.
Cobalt, okay.
Yes. And usually we have a guest performer. We usually have an archaeologist that speaks a little bit about the oldest church and the elements of archaeology and history, and then the guest comes in and does something relevant. So, everything's relevant.
Uh-huh.
All the elements are made up. Our world makes up the world, the elements.
Sure.
So there's really nothing you can do that isn't related to an element.
How did you get an opportunity to play at the oldest church?
You can call it and ask her to rent the room.
Okay, all right. That's how it happened. And we were talking before you went on, because it's fascinating to me, because you were explaining how the sound of the PA system is actually part of your instrument, and you balance the sound of the room. Can you tell a little bit about the oldest church? Because you were saying about how interesting the walls were there, and I thought that was fascinating.
Well, it is a 600-year-old building, and it's been rebuilt a few times, and it's built on top of a kiva, and there's a lot of history in the walls itself. Cultures have clashed and tried reconciliation on that spot. It's near the river, and so the walls, of course, are adobe.
Yeah.
Thick walls, and they're not slick, and they're not flat, and it's a high ceiling. So it's actually, if you shrunk it down, it might be this nice little box that you could put strings across it, and so when music is played in there, I think that the music travels around the room and bounces off all that history and converges somewhere all over the room. And so it's actually a beautiful instrument to play in.
How cool is that?
We enjoy playing. That's the way I see it. I just think it's a nice space to be in, too.
So that's going to be February 2nd, 6:30.
Yep.
Okay. And how do people get tickets for that?
You can get tickets at the door. The door is open at 6. You can also get tickets on my website, which is Lauria Music, Lauria music.com.
Okay.
And there'll be a menu item that says music and tickets. And you can purchase tickets online there, and I'll put you on a will call list.
How cool. And is Michael going to be playing with you on that?
Michael will be there on the Strontium show. Yes, he will.
Okay.
We have an interesting show for molybdenum. There was some switching around with the elements of the show, and we have settled into a combination of Lauren Camp as a poet who's going to come in. She's from Santa Fe. She's published all over the place. She's won awards. She's lovely and is a practiced poetry reader, so she's going to be in the show.
Oh, very cool. We're talking with Lauria. We have Michael Kott playing some cello. You're listening to Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM. We're going to be right back with another song. Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. I am Ron Whitmore. Just a reminder, we record this live from Artisan, the art supply store on Cerritos Road, every Thursday at 11 o'clock. You're always welcome to come down and be part of the studio audience, which we have. Thank you, studio audience, for coming out here. There's the rowdy studio audience. And we are with Lauria, and she is accompanied by Michael Kott on the cello, and they're going to be doing another song. What's this song about, Lauria?
Oh my gosh, well, this is a song that called Digital Radio, and I never know what the songs are going to be about until they're done, and then I name them.
Uh-huh.
So you'll hear what it is. It's sort of like how can you be of service to anything or anyone? There's only, you can do like all this stuff, but then you can't do anything more after that.
Yeah.
Like, we tried to figure out what was going to happen on the show and called a few people and people backed away and they never answered. So what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
You're just going to do what you do. So this is also on the When I'm an Angel CD, which you have there.
Yes.
And we're just going to play it for you.
Excellent. Lauria, Michael Kott accompanying on the cello.
Thank you.
That's a great song, fun song.
That was fun.
You know, Art Fusion came about because we have so many of the visual artists that come into Artisan and also are musical and vice versa. And we talk about how it kind of runs along the same vein, that creativity, allowing yourself to express yourself, whether it's with a pencil or a paint, or whether it's with music or a cello or a guitar. But I really didn't know your other side that much because I'd never seen your artwork, and you're a visual artist, and you brought some pieces. They're fantastic.
Thank you.
How did that side come out, develop? Can you tell a little bit about your background?
Well, I was always making everything, doing everything as a kid, and
You grew up where?
I grew up in Massachusetts. I was in the darkroom doing black and white photography at age 6.
Okay.
I was painting and doing things. My mother had us gathering weeds and making bouquets, and my
Were
father.
your parents artists?
Well, my father was a surgeon, but he
Really?
he had painted, and he also was very fond of architecture and design and
Okay.
electronics, and he invented, like, we built a boat out of airplane gas tanks, and a barge. Before there were such things as pontoon boats, there was our barge.
Wow,
in the early
okay.
60s. And here in Santa Fe, I've been on the musician trail, and I went with some friends to, do you remember when Santa Kalim had the carpet sales in the El Museo?
Okay.
It was 32
Yes, I
days
do.
of Middle Eastern carpet
Yes.
sales. And we used to just go. I was playing Middle Eastern music on an oud. It was really fun. We were, so we would go there, and they'd hold that halogen light up to those carpets,
Uh-huh.
and we'd just go, oh, because you could feel the artistry and the
Okay.
patterns coming at you with the bright colors. And we went every day. I bought a few things. Like one day I came home with 10 carpets for $150. He was selling.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. So on the 32nd day, we were done, and I had no more color in my eyes.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, what am I going to do? I need color in my eyes. So I went to the hands-on public art studio. Do you remember that on
Yeah, I
Main
do.
Street?
Sure.
And I knew nothing about painting or canvases, and I just went nuts in there. And then I started
So
sketching.
you self-taught, kind of.
I went in there and I just was like, give me a color, and I'd throw a color. Okay, I like that one. Okay, now, well, how can I ruin that? Okay, I'll put that color on there. And how can I, I didn't want to make, like the typical decisions that you make. Oh, this will go with that, and if I put, I was like, no, what can I do? And so I also started stretching canvases there because I was using canvases, so
Okay.
I wanted to stretch things for other people, and I just did texture, color, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I did.
Well, this is a very unique look that you have with the texture and color. We have a piece here at Artisan, and I was asking her, how do you get, is that modeling paste or what? And well, that's a secret, and it's like you developed your own style. Like with your music, your paintings have your own style.
Yeah, I kind of. It's very physical, and it's I had to buy inexpensive supplies.
Sure.
And I painted.
We have some of those too. We have expensive. We have inexpensive.
And I used other people's canvases because artists would donate their.
Uh-huh.
And I loved the other canvases because they had lumps and things on them, and I liked having the lumps, and I'd paint over it, and so I did that for about. Intensely, I did 7 shows in 2 years around town, and then
With your art.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
With the art, I called it the Painted Song,
Okay.
and there's a bunch of paintings on my
Were you doing
website.
music and your art? Or?
Yeah, I would actually do a show in the venue where the paintings were,
Okay.
and I've sold maybe 20 paintings in my life.
How powerful. Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
still doing it or still pursuing?
I would be. I'm living in a very small space right now, and I was taking these out because I had to go. This one actually was in my kitchen, but I was like, oh, it would be fun to do. But
Okay.
I'm focusing on the music right now.
Well, and just a reminder for those that just are tuning in that Lauria and Michael Kott are going to be doing a concert at the San Miguel Church on February 2nd. The doors open at 6 o'clock. That's the oldest church in America, so it'd be definitely worth coming checking out her performing. You're listening to Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM. We'll be right back. Hang on. Show Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. We're with Lauria and Michael Kott, accompanying her on cello. And Michael he doesn't have a mic, so he's not going to talk, but I just got to do a little plug for Michael because he's played on an album that I did a long time ago and a song that I did. And anybody that is in town that hasn't heard Michael Kott play cello, he plays strictly by instinct, by heart. He didn't even want to hear my song before we went into the studio. Took it first. He's just an amazing, amazing musician. And we have another amazing musician, Lauria. And you gonna bless us with another song here, Lauria?
Oh, right away. Okay. I'm gonna play a tune that has not been recorded yet.
Oh, very
And
cool.
it's something I dug out of my my notebooks, sometimes I scribble in there, and then I go, nah, and I toss it off. And then, I don't know, years later or something, I'll go back looking for something, and then I realize that when I find something that appeals to me, I realize, oh, I've actually lived a period of time that allows me to write the rest of it.
Very cool.
Because at the time I hadn't lived that, whatever that was, so.
You're quite a writer too, because I read some of the stuff you wrote for the New Mexican, a piece. I forget, listen, the Earth might be telling you something.
Oh yeah. I was all upset about way back in the mid '90s when they were going to expand the ski area, and I just got here, and the Tsuki River was a place of refuge for me, and in the heat, and they were going to make a parking lot, and people were protesting, and there were bumper stickers around town that said, people say 6 to 1, yes, and then there'd be a bumper sticker that said, people say yes to 6 to 1, they say no, and I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people that they're asking? Just ask the planet.
Yeah.
So I went home and I interviewed the planet, and she spoke to me, and I wrote this 800-word interview, and I just dropped it off at the newspapers. I'd never done anything like that before, and they published it the day before my concert at the Santuario. That was my first record.
Well, I read it this morning. It's a worthy read. So go to Lauria's website. What's your website?
LauriaMusic.com.
Okay.
Or my name. My Lauria is a stage name that I shortened from Lauria, and my whole name is Lauria Fiorentino, and I just wanted something that just went Lauria.
Yeah.
So either one.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. So let's try this. It's new, so I don't know how it's going to come out. promise I have traded for life. Farewell to wondering if I'll ever be your wife. A story grows inside of me, and it's full of sound and light. Everything I'll ever need but the serpent in the crown. And his rhyme is not a riddle, and his words they do not lie. Why would I deceive when the truth is always nigh? My master always meets me where all answers can be found. My master answers to no one but the serpent in the crown. You may try to lose me, but I know my way around. My brilliant future stolen from the serpent in the crown. My master always meets me where all answers can be found. My master answers to no one but the serpent in the crown. My master always meets me where all answers can be found. My master answers to no one but the serpent in the crown. My master always meets me where all answers can be found. My master answers to no one but the serpent in the crown.
Woo! Brand new song from Lauria with Michael Kott accompanying on the cello. What a great song.
Thank you.
That's not on any of your albums.
No, it's been recorded on this podcast right
Nice.
here. Very first time.
I got a comment on your last album, Lauria, when I'm an Angel. That was a fantastic album. I think you got Song of the Year 2017 New Mexico Music Awards with that, and I encourage anybody to get her album. If you don't have When I'm an Angel, then your album collection is not complete. You need to go get it. So, and Michael Kott and Lauria are going to be performing live on February 2nd at the San Miguel Church. Doors open at 6 o'clock, and I encourage everybody to get out there and support great music in Santa Fe, because there's a lot of talented musicians, there's a lot happening, and people need to get out and really support the kind of talent that we have in Santa Fe, and you are on the top of the ring there. So you're listening to Art Fusion. That's all the time we have for this section, but we're going to get another song, and I think you're actually going to play When I'm an Angel. Is your last song?
That's a request.
Okay, well, you got to stick around then. You're listening to Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM. We'll be right back. Hang on. The Art Music Radio Show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. I'm Ron Whitmore. Just a reminder, we record this live from the front of Artisan. None of this music that you're listening to is pre-recorded, dubbed over, fixed, reverbed, anything. This is all just live music that you're hearing, and it's sounding fantastic. And Lauria, I was talking on break a little bit. As a musician I've played in the same band for 20 years, and the farthest we've ever traveled is Albuquerque and Buffalo Thunder Resort. It fascinates me with traveling musicians, and I was reading on your website that you have toured many countries, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland. How cool is that? I mean, I'd love to be able to travel and do music. How did you get into that, and can you share like what the cool experience is, or is it cool? Is it cool as it sounds?
Okay, so
reality check.
playing the gigs is really cool, but there's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And if you're staying in a hotel or a hostel, or you have to be out of there by 11. So
But you're in Australia or Ireland. That downtime is pretty cool, right? I mean,
it is, and sometimes I had a lot of adventures.
Yeah.
But I was by myself.
So you were touring solo.
I was touring solo with an agent, and an agent who he actually bought my ticket to Australia because he knew he could pay himself back. So now you go down there as an indentured servant, and then you play wherever he tells you to play. So and you don't know, it's all original music. It's scary. You don't know if anybody's going to like it. I mean, the very first gig I did in Australia, people clapped like this, and I thought, oh my goodness, I am in trouble. And I came off the stage, and the agent was like, that was fabulous. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, that's the way people respond here.
Really? Okay.
So
culturally.
Culturally, the places are different, and I had a lot of adventures. I really just needed to stay in my own place. I'm pretty much a hermit. And so to be exposed to the world 24/7, then doing shows and not having a place of my own that I'm safe and I can stay and I don't have to talk to anybody, it got to me.
Okay.
So when you're touring, it's like, like, woohoo, every single day. I mean, you have to be able to perform. You have to be able to, when you give your energy,
sure,
you kind of turn yourself inside out, for me, and then where do you restore? If you have to move and move again and move again I was out for a year, 2 years, and so yes, it was fun, but it has stress on the physical and emotional self.
Okay. So what you're doing at the San Miguel Church, you have it the first Saturday of every month. You're going to go all through the summer doing this?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 118 elements to get through, and by the end of April, we'll have done 8 of them. So,
are you doing any recording? You're still writing, obviously, because you got new songs. What about, you got another album that you're thinking about? Or
I can think about it.
You can think about it? You're writing for it?
You write songs because that's what you do. You don't write them because there's a paycheck. You write because it's what you do. And then the Kickstarter that I did to make that record was an effort and was great. And 300 people pre-purchased the CD, and that helped me make it because.
Where did you make "When I'm an Angel"?
I made it with John Rangel, who was the producer and
okay.
recording engineer, and in his little studio at home. And so I would love to make oodles of records.
Yeah, it's kind of an expensive proposition going.
The expense is paying professionals who they're artists in their craft, even if they're a technician.
Right.
So they have to be paid a living wage.
And so many people expect musicians to play for free all the time or donate, and I mean, musicians have rent to pay, they have car payments, they have to buy food occasionally. I mean, it's nice to be able to pay musicians.
Yeah, I mean, all the money that I made, all of it went to this community.
Yeah. So
the money came to me, and I paid all these people in Santa Fe and beyond. So I didn't have any money for myself.
you're a very giving person.
Well, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this record, and it's a creation, and then it's something that you can share with other people. So you want to be able to share it, but it takes time and attention to listen to music.
We're talking about her album "When I'm an Angel," and this is the last song that she's going to play, and it's one of my favorite songs in the world, and we only have time for that. So, Lauria, I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your talents with me, the studio audience, and everybody in the world. And Michael Kott, you're one of a kind, dude. There's not another Michael Kott in the world. And anyway,
I want to thank Michael Kott too for coming out for this. It's something that he might not do, but did today, and I'm very grateful.
And I'm grateful too.
All right.
When I'm an Angel.
Okay, now how does this go? That's it.
I'm an angel. I encourage everybody to get out February 2nd at the San Miguel Church at 6 o'clock. She's going to be playing live with Michael Kott. Thank you, Michael, for gracing us with your cello playing. Thank you, Lauria. You've been listening to Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM. We'll be back next week.